Amnesty International is a very, very well-respected organization. Amnesty International, back in the 70s, I had one of their, it wasn't even a bumper sticker back then, it was a little plastic decal, kind of shaped like a tombstone. I mean, it wasn't meant to be that way, but it had that kind of curled top or curved top and square sides and bottom. And it had their logo, which is that barbed wire around a candle, as I recall. It was one of the few bumper stickers I've ever put on a car. I just, I'm not, I guess, I kind of inherited this from my father's family, this don't be ostentatious meme or whatever. But, I've never been one to put bumper stickers out or signs or anything else. I just, kind of, but I was so impressed by Amnesty International's work back, and this was back in the 70s, that I put their bumper sticker on my car, and proudly. And to this day, I proudly support Amnesty International. I've donated money to them. I have encountered their people in Africa and in, I'm trying to think where else. Oh, and in Thailand, in the Klong Toi slum in Bangkok. I have, Amnesty International, great people, great organization. They just held a vote, and on a very contentious issue, which is the absolute, not just decriminalization, but legalization of prostitution, of sex work. They just held a vote on this and decided after years of debate and lots of dialogue to come out internationally in favor of decriminalizing sex work. Basically on the same theory that, criminalizing pot, you may not think that pot is a good thing, but making it criminal doesn't stop people from using it, and it does have all kinds of bad outcomes. It pushes people who want to use it into the territory of criminals. It makes the safety of it in doubt, and it creates horribly creates victims within the criminal justice system. All of that is true of sex workers as well. And so Amnesty International is saying, in order to stop the spread of diseases, in order to stop the harassment and persecution of sex workers by police departments around the world, and in order to diminish the vulnerability of sex workers to crimes that they're afraid to report because their behavior itself is criminal, we're going to call for the legalization of sex work. I support that. I think that that's a solid and rational position to take. And I've heard the arguments on both sides, and Louise and I back, this is right after we got married. I mean, this is in the early 70s. We went over to, it was 75. We went over to Holland, over to Amsterdam, and walked through the red light district, as tourists. And the working girls were out on the street, most of them in their windows, but there were a few where you could actually talk to them. It was summer. Some of them just had their windows open. And I remember one woman yelling, "Hey, you want to do a threesome?" But we had a couple of conversations with a few of them, and these are just people working. So anyhow, I don't want to glamorize or for that matter, de-glamorize or de-emphasize prostitution. I'm not a patron, and I'm not a fan of the idea of, I'd really struggle with it if one of my daughters decided to go into that field, for example. So, I understand the arguments all over this thing, but I think that Amnesty International has done the right thing. So I wanted to share that with you.